Sometimes it takes a blade to get a blade.
What's he unboxing? What'd it be? I don't know. Shut up and see.
Well, hello, chums. I'm really excited to share with you my first Curious King unboxing for Joe Abercrombie's The Blade Itself. The book I wanted and you all recommended to me before Curious King announced it. And then Curious King announced it, and Anthony K from Curious King reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'd like to do a giveaway on your channel. Would you like to be part of your channel giveaway of my book?" I said, "Oh my God, that would be incredible." So I had a giveaway, and somebody won a standard copy of The Blade Itself. But I also got one for my efforts for supporting the press and doing the giveaway. And here it is. It came today in the mail. And I am dying to look at the book. I've seen a lot of images out there. A lot of people are sharing their copies that have been landing throughout the world. And I have been just jealous and anxious. And now I'm relieved and happy. Just to give a little background, this is the standard edition. There were only 500 made. This is a PC. So I assume that means the standards are numbered with a designation. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to say it's a PC. This is also printed letterpress, which is impressive for the lowest price tier. And not only that, it's letterpress in two colors, black and navy. That's crazy. This edition features art from Tommy Arnold, and like Suntup's Artist Edition, the standard edition has a dust jacket art you can only get with the standard. So that's a similarity. What's interesting and brand new in the pricing model, and I dig it, is you get a break on pre-order price. So it was £200 if you pre-ordered it, and £215 if you bought it once it was published. Now, this is how it came. So I just ripped this part open to see. Here you go. And inside is another box. Oh. Okay, see, that was dangerous. So you could see it's not a box. It's like a tray, right? And I'll get the tray out. A tray, you! And in the tray, so here's the tray. So I got it out. The tray is holding my book. So it has some foam for impact protection. And then the tray is holding it, curled around it. So now we are getting into it. Oh, it has a bookmark. I hadn't seen. I didn't watch It's Terrific's video, Tim's video. It sounds like I'm calling him an it. I'm not. I didn't see Tim's video on it, so I didn't see the bookmark or anything else. I didn't want to be spoiled. I have seen the pictures making the rounds, but here is the bookmark. So there, let's get a good look at it. There it is. And on the other side, the blade itself. Very cool. Woo! So this title is Curious King's first entry into publishing, true publishing. Previously, they did a rebind of Ready Player One, which was just incredible. They hollowed out Atari 2600s and used them as tray cases for Ready Player One. That's really cool. So he started with a rebind, and now he's gone into publishing. This took a while. I think there are a lot of lessons a publisher has to learn, especially when you're dealing with art and binders and slipcase makers. Everybody's working on their own timeline. It's really hard to coordinate all of those pieces. I think Anthony K learned a bit about the process doing this. I think things will get a whole lot smoother here on out. But we are not here to talk about the process. No, we're here to get our grubby little eyes on this edition. Oh, So here it is. There it is, the blade itself. Foil stamped. Right there. Beautiful. Naked spine. So when I shelf this, this is what you will see. Because spine doesn't have a title on it. But then again, neither does the dust jacket. So I might put it out like that. I don't know. I'll probably put it out like that. That'll be a better identifier. There are a lot of people who put it out either way religiously. I make the Audible per book. All right. So here we go. Boop. All right. Now this art caused quite a bit of a holdup on the process getting this published. But holy shit, it's worth it. Look at this. I'll give you a good look at the dust jacket because it is worth seeing. Look at that. Now, I was told this is a fantasy novel I will like. Previously, I read Brothers of the Wind, and everybody's like, yeah, Ted Williams is high fantasy. He does all the silly sort of medieval times Renaissance fair type deal fantasy where you've got to talk lords and ladies. I don't know. It was weird. It wasn't my bag. But they said this is more grimdark or horror fantasy, more accessible, more maybe if you had a Venn diagram that Kamala Harris likes so much, you could have an overlap between fantasy and horror, and this is that sweet spot. I will say that crazed blood-covered face on the cover kind of sets the tone. You know what I'm saying. So here it is. It is bound in black buckram cloth with stamping. And again, I'm impressed. It's printed letterpress. And I don't know what 200 pounds translates to in dollars necessarily right now. So there's the end sheets. So it has a ribbon page marker. Here is Tommy Arnold and Joe Abercrombie. It's PC, so now in its normal print run state, it will have a designation there with a number. This is interesting. Now, when I first saw this in a Suntop book, it was Rosemary's Baby, or maybe it was Horns, where that first piece of art was just glued in on, actually on 3 corners. This is glued in on 2 corners. And I thought it was an error when I saw it wasn't completely glued down, but that is not an error. That is the way they do it in fine press publishing. And there we have the printing in navy and black ink. How it starts with the end. That's very cool. I'm thinking I'm going to dig the book. I'm thinking I'm going to dig it, although I'm going to dig I dig having it. So there are 2 people enjoying a cocktail of sorts. There's a corpulent fellow. Reminds me of the Baron from Dune. Now there's a huge hollow there. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know the way it is there. I'm feeling and seeing every signature, which is a fold and gathered section. It's like 16 pages. It is very well done, well built book. Beautiful book. I don't know if I could show this, but butt cheeks. Can I show butt cheeks and a lot of blood there? I don't know. It's a bloody book, I suppose. Half a butt cheek. So some butt cheeks there. So I don't know if I'm showing anything that's going to ruin or spoil the book, but this is a beautiful book. The PC Standard Edition. If you've purchased a Standard Edition, an actual number, that will come with rights to the next Joe Abercrombie title in the series, or any Joe Abercrombie title they publish. That was explicit and clear on the website. which is really cool. So they're assigning rights, and Curious King is doing rights differently. Now, I'm not doing a video on what to expect when you're collecting Curious King because I haven't gone that deep on them, but they're doing the right system differently. They're separating their print runs. So, and Hyperion, which is the next one from Dan Simmons, they're doing a print run of 300 for the deluxe level tier. They're not even doing a standard tier for Hyperion, but on the deluxe tier there are 300 copies, and 150 are going to have rights attached to them, and 150 will not. So I think Curious King is trying to avoid the grumbling from the customer base about the right system. People were really upset. They felt like that made it harder to acquire books when you attach the whole print run to rights. But I think if you have loyal customers, you should always reward the customers. But I think Curious King is trying to balance both camps, and hopefully it works. I'm huffing it because you do that, but really what I love is look at this. I mean, just look at the page design. Like, two color printing on letterpress with beautiful margins. It just highlights what an incredible reading experience this will be when I eventually get to it. I have a TBR that's kind of formidable. I'm reading Dune now, and then I'll be reading a Chad Lutzke book, Spinal Remains. Can't wait to read that one. Then I think I'm going to go into The Blade itself, or Advent by Daniel Pyle, because Christmas is coming. This is not a TBR video. However, this is a Curious King video. So, loving this book. I can't wait to read it. I will say it is priced higher than the Suntop Artist Edition, but worth it. This is delivering signatures, designations, and letterpress at a really wonderful price that makes this somewhere between a numbered and a artist edition in most other publishers. It's definitely calling it a standard edition is an understatement. But I love it. Thank you, Anthony K. and Curious King, for including me in this release. It's a very big release for you guys, I'm sure. And I know it means a lot, and I'm sure you're thrilled it's out. Subscribe to the Curious King newsletter and see all the stuff that's coming. Hyperion looks just bonkers. That looks amazing as well. They also are doing the 5th season. Now, that is a title that's really not on my radar. Maybe it should be. But if the 5th season is something that jazzes you up, I don't think you're going to find a better edition of it anywhere. Hell of a release. Thrilled to have it. Can't wait to read it and give you the review of the Blade itself. The other titles haven't been announced in the First Law trilogy, this is the first of that trilogy. So stay tuned for that. All the more reason you should be subscribed to the Curious Kings newsletter. And you see how they packed? They packed ready for anything. The book came in beautiful condition, and it's a beautiful book, man. Just a beautiful book. So buy with confidence. Hey, friends, this is slightly later in the day, Jeff. I'm sitting here editing the video, putting it all together, taking out the ums, ands, and nose scratches and coughs and etc. Things you don't need to see. And, you're welcome. But as I'm watching it, my energy's kind of low. I don't know what the deal was. I think I'm coming down with something. But I just kind of, I don't know. It seemed kind of really way too mellow for all the joy I'm feeling looking at this book. I'm absolutely thrilled to have this book. I am blown away by it. My expectations were high before it showed up, by all the images I've seen and all the prototypes, and they were met. My high expectations were met. Calling this a standard edition is an understatement, as I mentioned earlier, and I can't even imagine a Curious King Deluxe. So I just felt like I had to clear that up. Also, I mentioned about no title on the spine of the slipcase or the dust jacket, and I should have said I love it when there's no title or lettering on the dust jacket at all, and it's just the art. I love that. SST did that with Paradise Sky, and other publishers have done that on some books, and I love it. I know what book it is. I'll remember what it is when it's on the shelf. So I left that on the table. I should have commented on that. But anyway, I don't often do this. I just feel like my energy didn't match my emotion in the video. This is an incredible book. I can't imagine if you're a fan of Joe Abercrombie being any happier. So, and it's signed by Joe himself. Anyway, just wanted to clear that up. You can go about your day now. Thank you for joining me this time. Hope to see you again next time. And in the meantime, stay frosty.